Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Law Lounge with Silva. I'm your favorite criminal defense attorney here in Los Angeles. And today I want to talk to you about tricks that the police use in order to elicit a confession from clients who are arrested. And there are a number of ways, we're going to touch upon a few of them, and how to respond. The first thing that they'll do is anyone who's accused of a sexual assault or a battery or anything having to do with the he said, she said, or she said, he said, he, she, what they will do is do something called a pretextual call. And what that is the police will have the victim of the case call the person who they're accusing of this contact, and they'll try to elicit either an apology or an admission. And the whole time, this call is actually recorded, and the police will use it against the client. And these pretextual calls happen all the time. I always tell my clients, please, if the victim in the case calls you, don't make any statements. You cannot talk to them, and no matter what you say, it can and will be used against you, especially if the call is recorded. The second tactic that police will use is a lot of times they'll tell someone who's arrested, it's good you admit this because the consequences will be a lot better if you just admit the crime. I can tell the prosecutor that you absolutely admitted this and they'll give you a lesser sentence. It doesn't happen, you guys. I've been doing criminal law now for 18 years in the public defender's office in Los Angeles and with my own firm. And I'll tell you, if you confess to anything, they don't have sympathy against you. The sentence remains the same. So the best thing to do is always remain silent. And if you do want to confess or you do want to admit it, make sure you have an attorney with you first, because we can always minimize the damage. We can't minimize the damage after a confession is made. The third thing that officers will use is they'll actually say, you better admit it now because we have video and we have witnesses who saw you. Well, quite honestly, if they had videos that showed you did it and witnesses that showed you did it, they really don't need you to confess to it. A lot of times they'll use these ruses in order to have you admit to something, and it's completely legal for them to do so. So little tips and tricks that they will use. The best thing that you can do if someone is trying to elicit something from you is just say, be very respectful. Don't be violent or brutal or mean. Just say, officers, with all due respect, I have an attorney. My attorney always tells me not to do anything without them present. May I call my attorney? I don't want to make any statements without my attorney present. And that way, talk to your attorney before you say something that can be held against you for the rest of your life. All right, you guys, take care.